right. Got about 5 more minutes. Awesome. So we've got some high school and middle school happening here. To record this session, you'll hit the 3 dots at the bottom of your screen. It says more options, and then the top part says record. And I really like using that feature for sending the video out to kids who maybe couldn't make it to the meeting. All right, so if you're just joining us, I am recording this session for future people who want to watch. And if you will drop your name and your campus into the chat feature, that would be awesome. Zachary, did that answer your question? Do you see where you can record? So because I'm the host of this one, you might not be able to see that feature. But if you open up a new tab and try to start your own Google Meet, I think you'll be able to see it. Hi guys, welcome. If you'll drop your name and your campus into this chat feature. And I am recording this for future. All right. Yeah. Yeah, Zachary, if you still have questions about that, let me know and we can talk about it. You can hang back on this call and we'll make it happen so that you can make sure that you've got the option to record when you start it with your students. Perfect. Perfect. Hi guys, welcome. If you're just joining us, go ahead and drop your name and campus into that chat feature. That will give us a running log of who has all attended today. Hi, Anna. Cool, we've got lots of middle school people here, high school people. All right, we'll start in about a minute here. Hi, Keisha. All right, it's 9 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. I'm Jessica Stubbs. I am an instructional technology coach, and I'm so glad you came to meet with me today. We're going to be talking about parent communication. And if you've been to a couple of these other sessions, they've been really like walk you through one particular tool. And in this particular meet, we are going to be collaborating more and just talking about some options for parent communication, because we know how important it is to be communicating with our parents about everything that's happening. And I see a lot of middle school and high school teachers here. So we know that communication can be very difficult. I was a high school math teacher, so I know the struggle, and especially now in this virtual world, it is going to require some different avenues. So rather than walking you through one particular tool, I'm going to lead you towards a bunch of different tools that we have, and then allow you to explore and maybe even brainstorm some of the options that you guys are trying, and let us know what's working and what's not working. So right now, all of you guys are muted, but at any point, if you want to jump in, if you want to add to the chat or just pop in and ask a question, feel free to. In a minute, I'm going to share my screen with you guys, and I'm going to direct you to the resources that we have on our instructional technology page so that you can have them at the same time. Hi, Lacey. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and present my screen now. All right, and we're going to walk through some options that we can share with parents. So I don't know how many of you have been to our instructional technology distance learning page, but if you haven't yet been there, I highly recommend it. You can find our page by going into the portal and then clicking on instructional technology, and it will bring you up to our page, and then you click on distance learning. So in this distance learning page, first of all, I don't want to go too fast. Does anyone have questions about how to get to our instructional technology page? So you can go through the portal and click on instructional technology. And when you go to instructional technology, you click on distance learning, and that's what will bring you to this page here. Okay. We have lots and lots of resources. So here is where I would recommend check these out at some point when we've got some Khan Academy. This is new. They just came out with some great schedules and different things like that. Did I? Okay. But here's where I would like you to go. If you click here to view instructional resources, and then under communication tools, we have all of these different options for how we can communicate with families. Questions so far? Okay. So the big one that a lot of us are using right now is Skyward. And what we provided under Skyward, and it is a click sheet of how to send out a mass email to all of your parents. So if you're struggling with communicating on Skyward, here are some options. This will walk you through how to send a message to all of your families. That is one option for you. Questions about Skyward. Now, I don't have access to Skyward as an instructional technology coach. Does anyone want to share and working or not working with you, Skyward? Wow, you guys are a quiet bunch.
So I actually use the Skyward tool a lot to communicate with families, and I love it because they can send emails right back to you to ask questions or just indicate that they have concerns or whatever. So I use that all the time.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else? Questions about Skyward? So Skyward is a great tool. If you have more questions about it, add it to the chat or send me an email. Here are some other tools that we want to talk about, though. Another tool that I wanted to share with you is Class Dojo. Now, if you are in the high school or middle school classroom, Class Dojo may seem a little young, but I really like Class Dojo for the ease of communication with parents. There are lots of easy ways, a quick tutorial here on how you can get your class set up with Class Dojo, and another YouTube channel here that talks more about Class Dojo. The thing I like about Class Dojo is it does have a portfolio feature. So if you are looking for a place for students to put their work at the same time as communicating with parents, Class Dojo is a good option for that. A lot of our families that have younger siblings, they are already using and have been using Class Dojo for a long time. So if you're looking for a different way to communicate with those families, this might be an option for you. Remind is probably more age appropriate for the older kids because it allows text messages to be sent and two-way communication, which I really like there. They did just change their remind terms of service so that younger ages can use it. This is a great way to be sending out. I know that I have some teachers who are sending out daily reminders to their families to just let them know and keep them connected to their kids. And it's really easy to do, to have different classes in Remind, to communicate with your students when you have those big, large classes in high school and middle school. You can send messages to certain classes, or you can send messages just to certain kids. And so I know a lot of campuses are doing, like, having one site where everyone can put their information, and this might be something that you want to have families sign up with. I really do like it because it will just send that text message straight to the parent's phone or straight to the student's phone, and it doesn't need an app. And I really like that feature of it because a lot of our families struggle with getting data, or they don't have Wi-Fi. So this remind through a text message is really, really helpful for our families. All right, the next resource that I was going to talk about is Seesaw. Seesaw is also a little younger. It is similar to Class Dojo in that it has a digital portfolio as well, where kids can be posting on their resources. Since we've got a lot of people in the upper grades right now, I probably am not going to dive into this, but Seesaw is an option for you. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about that we haven't talked about on here is social media. Social media is a great way to connect with our students. Now, for our high school aged teachers, terms of service is not as big of an issue, but when we're wanting to talk to families, Instagram and Facebook are where our parents are on right now. And so those are great avenues for you to create a class page and have your families follow you on there so that you can easily communicate with them. We have, and I will drop this into the chat feature right now, we have a list right now of all the hashtags that our schools have that I will share with you right now that you can use to tag and try to connect your parents with your school. So this is the list of all the different hashtags, and if parents start searching these hashtags or you tag your Facebook page, it'll help connect your families. A lot of our families are already following our Facebook pages, so you can tag the Facebook page and then let parents know that you are creating your own page for your particular class. And I'm going to share this link right now with you guys in the comments right here. So you can have access to all those different pages. Okay, I just went through a lot of different resources. So like I said, this one session's a little different because now I just want to answer your questions that you have or collaborate together. So what questions do you guys have, or how can I help?
Hi, this is Greg Zarba with West.
Hi, Greg.
Hi. I'm old, if you can't notice that by the gray hair in my beard. I'm not familiar with like Snapchat and Facebook and so on and so forth. I barely, if at all, used it.
Mm-hmm.
So is there a place online forgive my hair. I didn't wash this morning yet. Is there a place online where we can get more details about how to get into this, how to use it, so on?
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't have anything set up right now that will walk you through Facebook, but I believe, is Emily Simmons your instructional tech coach?
Yes, yes.
I think you can reach out to Emily and she will help you set something up.
All right, that'll work. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Other things, other questions? How is communicating with your parents going right now? Y'all are a quiet bunch. 4, 9, 10.
So I've reached out to parents, but I'm getting about the same amount of responses I get during a normal school day.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how much parents are actually getting through everything. And part of that, I think, comes back to the fact that most of them don't have their information actually updated on Skyward correctly.
Yeah.
So the biggest response I'm getting is I've set up Google Classroom in the past already with my kids. And they're responding faster on Google Classroom and private comments than I'm getting through email at all.
Okay, so that's great. So using Google Classroom. Now, could you use Google Classroom to connect them to, is that how you're going to primarily communicate with your students? Is that what you're looking to do?
That's what I'm doing right now because they're already used to it. That's how we've done all of our assignments this year. It's all turned on Google Classroom. So I think that helps. I'm already looking at setting up reminds for each of the classes though, just so there's that little bit of extra communication.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm right now I'm finding out of everything Google Classroom seems to be getting the most response.
Yeah, and one thing we've noticed is with Google Classroom, it's great, but if they don't have the notifications turned on, they're not seeing that you're notifying them or posting a new assignment. So having that extra remind feature is super helpful, just so that the parents can get a text or the kids can get a text and let them know that there's something new posted. Yes, so Google Voice. I don't know a ton about Google Voice yet. In the Google Meet session, they are covering Google Voice more, and I know some of you were just in that Google Meet session. So if you have more questions about Google Voice, definitely check out that. And I think we'll probably be having a Google Voice session coming up. So Sonia, if you want to hang back or send me an email and we can get you some more resources for that Google Voice. Other questions or ideas about how to communicate with parents?
Yes, I have a question. So as a parent, I've been communicating with my kids' teachers through Remind.
Yeah.
I know about a year ago, I teach band. And so we had to stop using Remind because there was a maximum number of students before they started to charge you. Has that gone away? Like, can we use all our kids again?
I think that at this moment, all of these services are allowing for free usage right now. So I think you can try, I'm sure that they're going to start charging again, but right now, most of these services have lifted their fees.
Okay.
So try it and let us know.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Other questions, other ideas? Like I said earlier, most of the schools have a Facebook page. So if you're looking to get out the word about your class, and I do know like AC New has a Google site that they're going to use, and I think most of the campuses have a place where they're going to post all their information. Post your information to your Remind. Post your information to your Google Classroom or different things that you're going to use to communicate with them daily on those sites?
So since I know I've got a lot of parents that do not speak straight English, that are limited English proficient, similarly to their kids, one of the biggest difficulties I run into both at school and definitely will now is translating all of my documents. I'm aware Google Translate is not the best when it comes to any kind of syntax, and I really do not want to overload another teacher, even though I know several are offering to translate. Do we have any ideas on a different option or a better option maybe?
So I guess my question is, what message are you trying to communicate to your parent? And is it a message that could be that you could use Google Translate for one thing, like, hey, make sure your kid, make it short and sweet, right? Something simple so that they are just going to notify their child, because since you're teaching theater, right, you're probably just going to need them to go to something where you'll post information for the kids. So when you're sending out a message, make it short and sweet, because remember, you're going to be sending them messages, but so are 6 other teachers. So you're right, we don't want to overwhelm our parents. So how can we make our message short and sweet to the point while they still know we're connecting to them, but steering them towards a direction for their kid to get more information? I don't think that necessarily answered your question.
It was a very broad question, to be fair.
Yes. Yeah, but I do know that our teachers are so happy to help. Mr. Hoya would be happy to help you if it's just something simple, and they're eager and ready to help.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, yeah. Good question. Other questions, other ideas? All right, well, if you don't have any more questions, this is the end of what I had to present. You are more than welcome to hang back and ask me some questions if you would like to. And don't forget to go to our instructional resource page. There is some information on Skype and Twitter, but the other one, Google Meet, is going to be a big one for even parent communication too. If you haven't yet been to one of our Google Meet sessions, I believe we have another session at 10 and one at 2. Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining.